We'll just tag IGN in it.
The
It's the IGN clone. Started off fitness, went to video games.
The ultimate tag.
That'd definitely get some more views.
Clickbait.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode. Obviously Max, Lee. Today we're going to talk about free weights, v machines, v cardio. What is best for fat loss? Take it away, one of you. We've been chatting about this for like 20 minutes. I'm like, it's really good for a video.
Yeah, we were talking about the differences. There's a lot of sort of things on the internet at the moment, and they're talking about what's best. If you could only do one, would you do cardio or would you do sort of weightlifting? And if you were weightlifting and you could only use machines or you could only use free weights, which is better? And you're like, it's a really stupid argument, because is it not better to do all three? You know, to start with your heavy sort of weights, to go for your compound movements if you're fit enough and strong enough to get into a good position for them, and then to isolate your weak points on the machines or with bodyweight exercises. And then cardio is always going to make you feel so much healthier, so much better, so much fitter, lighter on your feet. It's like the gym work is to look good and to sort of get some strength in your body. The cardio is to make you feel good, get that healthy heart, healthy circulatory system, and then make you feel better, lighter on your feet.
I think
so it's a big mixture, isn't it?
It is, for sure. For me, I always feel that like cardio for me is more of like more of a clarity thing. It helps me with my kind of mentality. Helps me kind of like, I guess, strip things back, just focus on myself, focus on thoughts. And that's where I get a lot of thoughts from when if I go walking, go running.
Yeah, if you're doing steady state, you can get that real tranquil state where all your sort of problems just circulate in your head and say, oh, well, that's not really, it's not that important, you know what I mean? And it's very easy. Things that are really grinding you, really upsetting you because of them serotonin levels, them feel good chemicals.
Depends on your version of cardio, doesn't it?
Yeah, we were just talking about
what's
this.
What's your, it depends what your definition of cardio is. I mean, cardio is obviously that's short for cardiovascular, which means you're working the heart. And then if you look at weights, then obviously weights, you are working your heart, you're working your body. So technically anything could be cardio.
Yep.
But then, obviously, when we're talking about, obviously, like we're talking about weights, we're talking about obviously everything versus each other. Like in terms of cardio, we're looking at more of the standards, your treadmills, your running, you know.
But is that the best? Is that the best use of your time though?
Not necessarily.
You want to have a good mix between sort of speed sessions, strength sessions, and steady state sessions. So if you're doing cardio, you know, not everything wants to be done at one pace. I mean, we're talking about how tranquil it is and how lovely it is to sort of run. But if you're doing 10 400s and you're going for a good pace, you're thinking about nothing apart from don't fall down, keep breathing.
Well, I think the difference is that people do the same workouts day in day out. Like we spoke to a lot
so
of
definitely
people.
Variety.
It is, but they've done the same program: 20 minutes on cross trainer, 20 minutes on treadmill, 20 minutes on the bike for the last 3 years.
And they're not getting anywhere because their body's adapted. Their body's very good at dealing with that particular workout, but it's never been pushed. It's never been stressed in any sort of different way.
Yeah, I think you could still have the same workout, but increase one or the other, increase the intensity, increase the volume.
And we were talking about this. So Matt's having a good discussion about intensity.
Yeah. I mean, intensity.
Elaborate.
Well, no, intensity comes down to what do you visualize as intensity? Because I was saying to Lee that obviously if you go out and you go for a sprint, 90% of people are going to be like, oh yeah, that's super intense. Mm-hmm. But then you could have the same, not necessarily the same, but you could have a similar intensity whilst doing, squatting your...
The same stimulus.
Yeah, but you could do like, if you're lifting super, super heavy, that's
like
it's still intense. Yeah, I mean, you could even do it, I mean, I'd say that even if you were doing 10 reps, but your 10th rep you're at your 10 rep max. So those 10 reps were, you're literally,
forcing them out.
Yeah, you're not sure whether it's coming out the front or back end. And that's not.
But this isn't 10 reps where you're being all dramatic, like where you do one rep and then go, that was hard.
Breathe,
then I'll do another one, and then there's almost a minute rest in between every rep, sort of thing.
Sure. But the intensity, it comes down to your perception of intensity. It comes down to what you view. It's the same thing with what you view as cardio, what you view as weights, what you view as everything else. Because obviously weights is quite standard. I mean, obviously you've got machines, you've got free weights, but weights you wouldn't class running, sprinting, stuff like that. But then the muddling, but the muddling in comes from me is if you're pushing a prowler sled, is that weights or is that cardio?
Bit of both.
Exactly. This is it. No, this is it.
It's hellish.
But but that's what I'm saying.
Neither is hell.
No, so the cardio aspect still comes in, because I would still put that in and class it as maybe cardio or metabolic conditioning or something like that. But it does have that boundary where it swaps over the two.
So similar to like CrossFit, you were saying when you put exercises back to back in terms of like weight-based mechs and stuff.
Yeah.
In a high-intensity format, that is both of them, isn't
But
it?
Yeah.
we were talking about this before with the difference in sort of powerlifters and strongman over the last sort of 10 years, how they're getting sort of bigger and much stronger, but they're getting a lot fitter because of the additional sort of cardio training they're doing. So they're doing a lot of cardio-based training. I think this has a lot to do with the influence of CrossFit, you know, as much as it has, you know, a mixed reviews in amongst different people. You know, CrossFit really has sort of helped to bring on strongman and powerlifting. So you see powerlifters of my sort of era, you know, 10 years ago, a lot of us were very voluptuous. You know, we were curvy guys. That range of motion wasn't huge on the bench press, you know, but now you get these sort of super athletes that are strong, that are fit. They do a lot of parlour work, a lot of sledge work. They're doing a lot of sort of high intensity for up to 90 seconds, which is absolutely awesome for not only the heart, but for all the muscles. And it's very hard to keep high intensity going for 90 seconds.
It is.
You know, that 90-second mark is it's sort of the pinnacle of sort of strength and fitness.
So what do you class high intensity though? Because people will be doing high intensity and they'll be going 1 minute max on a, say, sprinting. It's like, well, that's not, I don't class that as high intensity, because that's 1 minute sprinting out. That could be 20, 30 seconds maximum you'd better hold a sprint for.
But you wouldn't be doing one, you would be doing
Of
sort
course.
of a minute's worth of, or let's say 20 seconds worth of sprinting. Let's say you do 100 meters, it just takes you over 20 seconds, which is actually pretty quick. You know, the amount of people you meet that's like, I'm on 11 seconds, 100 meters, and you're like,
This guy was.
Yeah.
So that's
yeah, one of few that I know was,
Don't
but
hate, watch
Yeah.
honestly, the amount of guys that come up to me and say, oh yeah, I've got 11 second 100 meters, and I'm like, were you on rollerblades? You know?
Yeah, I think that was 12.8 or 13.1.
Man, that is rapid. That is really, really quick. I don't think people realise just how quick the sort of 11-second mark is for the 100 meters. You know, that is pretty bloody elite.
Yeah, it was pretty quick. But the thing is, again, like a sprint is, for me, a sprint is always 100% effort.
Yeah.
There's no way you're going to be able to. I mean, this is again an argument of. But that's all right. No, again, another argument entirely is the argument of picking your cardio. People always go, yeah, sprint, but actually that first one's a sprint. The second one's now not a sprint, because you've actually technically, you're not going to be able to sprint. Like, so take someone like Mo Farah at the end of his 10,000 meters. He does like a 50-second, like he's doing like a 50-second last lap. Yeah. Now he's going super quick, but actually, now the question is he sprinting? Because what I'm saying is that's 100% of his effort at that point.
Yeah, of course.
But obviously he's already done the laps beforehand.
So I think, I'm not too sure on the 5,000 metres, I think ideally they want what's called a negative split. So they're starting off and getting slowly faster, so the second half of the race should be a few seconds faster. So like I said, you're starting 80, 90% and you're cruising, and then it's the last half where you step it up and you just go, there's a term for it, suicide pace. It's like, I'm not going to try and continue to breathe anymore. I'm just going to hold on as long as I can, you know. So one of them in the 1970s coined that phrase. I can't remember his name now. Suicide pace. I absolutely love that.
Yeah, but
But yeah, it's like, again, you take someone like Usain Bolt, because it's 100 meters. But if you take that 9 seconds, you times that by each 100 meters of the 400 meters. You know, he's got a 30-second 400 meters. Now I'm telling you now, the world record's 43:08 or something, and you're going, that's pretty flipping quick.
Yeah,
you ever try and do a 43?
But this is why they have
400.
When they're working 100%, they have so much sort of time in between. Same as powerlifters, same as strongman.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, so the good guys, when they're going, 85, 90, 95% sort of max, that's when they do have sort of 10 minutes in between sort of sets, and that 5 minutes psychologically psyching themselves back up. But I mean, this is not fat loss at all.
No,
This
sure.
is just
What I'm saying is that it's all about the intensity though, because the 100 meters, and if most people can sprint all out for 100 meters, pretty much. Or say you can break it down even smaller and go 50 meters. You can go 100% for that 50 meters as quick as you can.
I was going to say, I'm probably
But
good
then-
for about 50 metres. I get too excited. You know,
then
that last
you're
line,
gonna
that 10
reach-
metres just seems so far away.
You're reaching a point. Whereas you ask to do that 50 meters again and again. There's no way you're going to be able to keep the initial pace up So if your initial pace
But you shouldn't be able to do it.
No, of course. But this is where, like I'm saying, this is what intensity. Whereas people come to me and they'll go, oh yeah, I sprint for X amount of times. But you go, well actually, you're not, because your sprinting pace started in rep number 1.
It's your term of intensity.
Yes, but it comes down to the intensity, because there's no point doing, what I'd say, there's no point doing one full out sprint and then doing the rest at 20%.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, this ties into the sort of 2 and 3 hour lot in the gym. You know, I was speaking to a guy the other day. He wanted to work in with me, and I'm a bad tempered sod when I'm training. I'm really introvert.
Really?
I'm a nightmare. But I said, look, mate, you're more than welcome to join in, but it's 30 seconds between sets. So I said, if you can sort of do your set in 30 seconds, I said, then brilliant. You know, I'll do it in 30 seconds, you do it in 30 seconds. And he's a bit sort of taken back by this, and it's like, I've been here since 10 o'clock this morning. And I'm like, well, you've been here for nearly 3 hours. You've got no indication. I said, what? After 3 hours, what have you got left? You know, what are you training
What's
for? You know,
like you said, is that going 30% every single hour?
I don't even think he was doing that sort of thing. I got talking to the guy, and he'd been training for a couple of years, and he wasn't making any progress. And I was like, man, you need to get some earphones and then literally set your watch to 60 seconds rest in between sets.
It's been having
keeping that heart rate going up and up and up.
Having a strict kind of regime as well. Like, people get lost in it. Like, people check their mobile phones. People.
But this is the difference between reps. And this is another argument entirely: is reps versus time in terms of what you're going to set your. Because if you're going to do reps, then you've got a break in between. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you're doing 4 sets of 8, but actually those 4 sets, if you've got a 2-minute break in between each set, depending on your goals, obviously. Then that 2 minutes, is that a strict 2 minutes, or is that 2 minutes where you're checking your phone? Oh, I've gone over 2 minutes. Whoops. Get back into it.
This is
next
good
minute
point,
is a minute and a half, and then the next 3 minutes.
If you do find yourself struggling like this, you can download seconds.
Yeah,
you know, so
seconds
it can,
seconds
the app, it can literally sort of set it and say, right, I want to be working 4 minutes, and then 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 90 seconds rest, and then continue on like that. Yeah, and it's free as well.
And it's brilliant. That's creates discipline though.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of people lack.
But again, but then my argument to that is the fact that I know a lot of people, myself included, who, in the famous phrase of eyes bigger than your belly, if you set up a timer and you go slightly too on one for that first set, all of a sudden, all of a sudden you think, that rest was probably a bit ambitious. But then you've got another 5 sets of that, and you're thinking, either shit bollocks, you know, I'm going to have to do something about this, or you're then going to have to decrease the intensity. So if you're doing, say you did, in that last 20 seconds, say you did 10 reps, then actually this time you're probably more likely doing 5 reps. But then, it's where the intensity comes. But
you can use heart rate instead. I do this quite regularly. So I say, right, I'm going to really try to keep my heart rate above 140. So it's like, right, I know it's going to spike at 160 when I finish the set. That's generally where, once I'm warmed up and I'm into the workout, my heart rate generally sits at about 160, and the second it goes down to 140, and in the first 15 minutes, that's literally 15-20 seconds, you know, so it's like, right, I need another weight, that one I'll do, and you just pick up the weight and go for it. But when your heart rate dips down below a certain level, and you pick that level depending on your sort of goals and what you want, you know, your heart rate zones.
So 120 is not bad. A lot of people use 120 as a base to go back on again. So when the heart rate goes down to 120, then start again.
Then get it back in. And I mean, as you get more and more tired, it's going to take your heart rate longer to get back down to 120.
Explain that process to people that don't use heart rates. Explain the process to people that.
So your heart rate is obviously to the rate at which your heart is. The more you're exerting, the faster your heart is pumping to pump the blood around your body. So every time you're using your muscles, the muscles are using oxygen. Your heart is pumping your blood, supplying the muscles with oxygen. So the faster that your heart is pumping, the more oxygen's going to your muscles, the harder your muscles are working and are able to work. So once you get certain heart rates, heart rate zone 2, I think it is, which is 50 to 60, or is it 60 to 70? 50 to 60% of max, that's generally called your fat burning zone, which is a bit controversial, but that's your...
Super controversial, super controversial.
Yeah.
You can't hear this just because people are talking down there, but we'll put tagline to the bottom.
Yeah. So your heart rate zone, your fat burning zone, very controversial. It's steady state cardio, so it's generally a little bit quicker than sort of walking. It's quite a relaxed sort of pace in the gym, but that gives you the maximum amount of calories burnt throughout that session well, it's not calories, sorry, this is to do with the maximum amount of fat burned during the session. But what sort of superseded it now is more intense sessions. So we have HIIT cardio, so you get your heart rate zone up to sort of 4, which is pretty bloody high. Myself is over 165, I think zone 4 is. So 164, hold it there for about 30 to 60 seconds and then let it come back down. So what this does is it gives you big spikes in performance, and as you get fitter, that heart rate drops down quicker. But this has been proven to increase metabolism for up to 10 hours after the exercise. So you're burning the calories during the exercise, which is, say, your 40 minutes worth of HIIT sessions, and then at the end of it, you've got an increased metabolism for up to 10 hours afterwards. And hopefully, because you're spiking, you're getting used to a higher heart rate, hopefully you're getting used to your body being a lot fitter, and your heart rate should come down a lot quicker and then settle with a lower resting rate heart rate, which is much better for your metabolism, for your heart. It's lower chances of heart disease and all sorts of things.
That's super in depth. All I wanted him to say really was that he gets his heart rate up to a certain height, to a certain rep, and then brings it back down again. Once that comes back down and he recovers, he goes again.
Yeah, that's basically it. Yeah.
No, I think for me the worst thing about that is form.
It's very demanding, yeah.
Well, it's demanding, but what I'm saying is, because say you can do a perfect, say you can do, someone found it funny. Say you could do, thanks mate, I needed that confirmation, cheers bud.
Fun.
Yeah, there's always one. Banner captions. But no, yeah, so that, like, you know, if you're going to do one rep, you can do that one rep, amazing. Whatever it is, whether it's sprints, whether it's a squat, whether it's a deadlift, whatever it is, if you can do that one rep perfectly. Now the idea is then, if you're going to keep your intensity up, is being able to do that same, keep that rep as perfect.
Yeah, the technique is
all the way through. Because the amount of times I see people doing, say, like box jumps or squats or anything, doing it with intensity, where they're doing, I'm going to do box jump for 20 seconds, 10 seconds rest. And all of a sudden the box jump actually becomes more of like a box, let's hope I land. I've stacked off it, I'm landing on my toes, I'm jumping back off, I'm staggering about for 20 seconds.
So someone starting new then, do you think then high intensity would be good for them? Like if they're brand new to working out, to training?
Well, the thing is, like, and I always say this when people come into, like, for consultation, this is always an interesting one, and controversial, feel free to have an argument with me. But I'll be there. I'll be in the comment section arguing back. But no, like, people sit down and they'll always say, like, you know, we always ask them, like, what have you done? Previously, and people are always like, oh yeah, I do a bit of training. Yeah, I train quite hard. I'm sitting there going, no, you haven't. Because like 90% of the time is people come in, a bit of training for certain people is, I've been to the gym 3 times a week or 5 times a week. But like you're saying, Lee, if you're in the gym 5 times a week for 2 hours each session, likelihood is, depending on your goal obviously, likelihood is your session's not that intense.
Yeah, I was going to say,
you're spending a lot of time
who
sitting around
doing that
but it's your perception, intensity. It's in your perception.
Yeah, of course, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but that's the misconception that the longer you spend in the gym, the better it's going to be. And you're like, if you're really going for it, how many people can last more than 30, 40 minutes in the gym?
I do think there's an element though of people that only go once or twice a week. They can't be there half an hour because you can't physically fit that in. Like, if you train once a week, and you're just doing, say, 20-minute sprints, the effect of that 20-minute sprints in the course of a week probably isn't going to be that great. If you're looking to improve, like, strength now, you have to go through a lot of volume in that.
Yeah, but I think this is where you really need your time diary, because a lot of the time people turn around and go, no, I can only train this, and I'm like, right, 2 of the sessions I give you are literally leave your house, go for a run, and come back to your house within 20 minutes. It's like everybody can squeeze in 20 minutes. It's hard.
I'm not saying
but if you want something, you'll do this. And the other 2 sessions are in the gym. So you've got 2 sessions strength training, 2 sessions sort of cardio training, and there's 4 sessions a week. And 4 sessions are pretty brilliant, you know. For anybody up to intermediate, I wouldn't recommend going for more than 4 sessions a week anyway, you know, depending on your sort of goals, obviously.
This is an argument. If you say you took somebody who legitimately could not, like, get to the gym, but they could get to the gym maybe once or twice. A, how long is their session, and B, what they're doing.
Well,
What I'm saying is, because what I'm saying, if I'm spending half an hour, yeah, but what I'm saying is, if you're spending you can spend a maximum half an hour in the gym. Take away the warm up, so you've got warm ups.
Oh, this is gonna go on forever.
You've got a warm up. This is not a warm up, so you've got a warm up. Take that out of the timing. Then you've got half an hour after that warm up. Yeah. Take away cool down. Cool down can be done at home and things like that,
sure.
if in doubt. Yeah. So you've done a warm up. You've got half an hour. What's best?
So, people that are watching this, what do you do if you only spend like if you go once or twice a week and you're gonna make it half an hour, what do you do in the gym? For me, it would be weights to a high intensity, respect of like circuit base and that if they've got good form. But it's very difficult, like to say like I can't sit here and see what other people's technique form like.
Oh no, yeah, of course.
So I mean, you could always superset Facebook with Instagram. You know, that could be the best way of doing it.
That's a bit too much intensity for me.
Yeah.
Stick to one or the other.
Yeah.
But supersetting circuit format would be, for me, the most beneficial way of
throwing exercises together.
Throwing exercises together, because you're getting a lot of volume in a short amount of period of time. So heart rate is elevated, intensity is high, but they have to be very strict and very disciplined in that routine.
But okay, so this is another video that's coming out now. Like, definitely, we might have to stop it here. We'll start another video now. Why not? But no, I was saying about people wasting their time in the gym. The amount of times I go in the gym and I see someone like, they'll set the treadmill to incline, hold on.
Oh, that's brilliant. Yeah, the incline. They just put it straight back on the flat.
And you just walking up. But then what I'm saying is, like, in terms of your half an hour in the gym,
how effective is it?
Yeah, people are going, I'm not getting any gains.
A stupid article online for bodybuilders turning around and saying the most effective way of doing cardio without losing muscle is to do an incline sort of walk for 20 minutes. And you're like, seriously, honestly, why don't you go outside and do that? If all you want to do is do a little bit of walking, it's not really that good for you. It's brilliant if you're 50, 60 year old, and you're not very fit and you're not very able, then walking is awesome. But if you're a 20-year-old guy or a 20-year-old woman, that's in between a man and a woman, yeah.
But okay. This is going to lead on to another video together. But I guess we'll summarise it now. If you're struggling for time and want to know what the best way is, I always would do something that you enjoy, because that's going to be the biggest thing that you're going to stick to. Whether it is running, whether it is doing weights, whether it is doing whatever type of swing, whatever it may be, right? If you physically enjoy it and you only have a certain period of time,
you're going to apply yourself.
You're going to apply yourself to what to do, alright? I think that has to be taken into account as well, in the time they got and what they actually enjoy doing. However, like these guys have said, that if you do have the time available, then doing weights mixed with cardio would be the best combination. Supersetting circuit format with good form would always be best, like for me.
That's obviously.
See, this is another video altogether. Cheating is in certain circumstances, once you get to a certain level, cheating within good form. I mean, half reps, partial reps are brilliant for blasting through sort of sticking points. But you've got to be at that hard part of the partial, not the easy part.
I'm going to stop the video here.
The last thing is basically, obviously, we're saying about weights, cardio, but obviously this is all based around what most people want, and that is fat loss. This is not necessarily incorporating bodybuilding and strength training and stuff like that in there. So, in terms of a fat loss perspective, I would say that a mixture of weights and then maybe a intense cardio at the end would be my personal preference in terms of what I would prescribe. But then it comes down to form, it comes down to intensity, it comes down to actual work capacity. If someone hasn't got the work capacity, then I wouldn't push them beyond a certain level.
And if they haven't got if they're stressed or if they've not much time, their lifestyle is difficult, then maybe the high intensity aspect might not be good for them. But that's another video together. Alright, you're going to chat for hours. Take it easy, see you next week, and have a great week as well, alright? If you like it, please comment, share, like, whatever, dislike it if you want to. Have a go at Max or Lee or myself, whatever. Alright, but take it easy.
See you later, guys.
See you later, guys.